Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to be reviewing this 50 kg anvil I got from Vevor on eBay, or you can get them on Amazon as well. I'll try to put a link in the description. It's a cast steel anvil that's just something to get me started in blacksmithing and bladesmithing. Um, uh, yeah, I know it's Chinese made, and I would really rather prefer an American one, but I'm just getting started, so I figured this is going to be my starter one. You can see a hardy hole has a little bit of junk on it, so I'm going to grab a file and clean that junk up first. Uh, as you can see, I've already cleaned the horn here a little bit. This cast steel has a lot of pits in it, so you're not going to be able to get all those pits out with grinding. But you can get the paint off at least and get it smoothed out a little bit. My hardy hole was pretty clean. It wasn't as bad as some I've seen. These are getting popular now, so hopefully the quality of them is going to start coming out. But yeah, that blue paint really annoyed me. I taken off a little bit of it, and as it annoys me more, I take more of it off over the life of this thing. I've had it for about a month now. As you can see, I flipped it over here, and I'm going to grab the angle grinder with a grinding disc. The grinding disc takes off a good amount of the material to kind of smooth it up a little bit and deal with those pits a little bit. You're not going to get it completely smooth without taking off a ton of material. So I'd rather just take off a good amount, and then I use a flat disc to smooth it up. Always be careful with the angle grinder. It can be a dangerous tool. Leave the guards on and all that jazz. And now I'm going to move on to setting the anvil into the stump here. Now this is a 110-pound anvil and probably a couple 100-pound oak stump. So it's a good base, but I want to definitely secure it on there good and dampen the ringing as much as possible. So I'm going to put on this silicone here. It's going to act as an adhesive, also to kind of go between the pits in the stump and the unevenness of the stump, because I just cut it with a chainsaw as level as possible. But this will help a little bit. Also, hopefully, it'll help dampen the ringing sound some, act like a silicon grommet almost. Because I am in suburbia here. I do have a driveway, and at the end of the driveway is a busy sidewalk, so I get a lot of interesting glances up this way when I'm banging on this thing. So I want to try to avoid some HOA complaints. And now that I've got a good spot, I found the best spot that it seems to really want to rest in. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this down. So I've got a piece of mild steel that I've drilled 1/2-inch holes in, and I'm going to drive 1/2-inch lag bolts that are, I think, 6 inches long down through. I've also bored out the stump a bit with a 1/2-inch bore bit. I didn't go all the way to the bottom, so as you can see, I tried just putting them in with the drill at first, and that only gets them in a little bit, and then I have to go hand tighten them. I probably would have just gone with 3-inch lag bolts if I had to do over again, because it gets pretty rough here, but I know it's secured in there very well. I can grab the shelf and the horn and walk this thing around when I need to move it, even though it's like 300 pounds. But all in all, it's definitely on there secure. I'd recommend using a heavy base. Some people use pine 4x4s, but this oak tree stump that I happen to come across, it's wonderful. It's heavy, hardwood, and it's not going anywhere. And of course, you want to size it up. I'm using a wire brush here to take off some more of the paint. Use an angle grinder. I'm trying to use a drill. Just use the power. Use an angle grinder. But yeah, your anvil should be with your standing with a fist at your side, and you should have you top of your knuckles on the top of the anvil there. So your stump should be that distance minus the height of the anvil. And there's the ring test. Here comes a magnet.
And now this is what it looks like after several forgings. You can see I've removed some more paint. It's got a nice patina going on. This isn't very round, but it'll do. I could always carve it up some if I wanted to. But I don't think that's necessary right now. There are some marks from errant hammer blows, but overall it's held up pretty good from my amateur use. I was able to do one hot cut on this corner pretty easily. Hardy's nice and clean. Not that I have any Hardy tools yet, but we'll get there. Overall, I would really recommend this. You could really get by with the 30. This is the 50. But I think the 30 would be just fine for most people making knives. So if you're having trouble finding a good American-made one, you can always go with these Castile ones that are probably from China. But if you want to get American, you go with something like the NC tool. They make a, I think it's 70-some pound knife maker anvil that you can get shipped for a few $100. So similar price point to this, just not as much weight to it. But this will definitely do you good. All right, thank you guys for watching. This is my amateur journey on how I'm learning to blacksmith. So if you want to see the rest of the journey, just hit that like and subscribe and all that other cliche YouTube stuff. And I'll hopefully be uploading some more videos of my work as I figure out how to do this thing. Thanks.